A lot of writers talk about building an author platform, a place where an audience goes to find more information about or random musings from a writer they enjoy. Because so many writers talk about building an author platform, many writers trust the misguided wisdom that if you build it, they will come. That's not true, or at best, it's highly unlikely. There's a better way to find and grow an audience, and it's not building an author platform. What's up, storytellers? I'm Jay Shear, author of the supernatural steampunk western Death of a Bounty Hunter, back here on the wall, the Amazon top-selling time travel novel TIMESLINGERS, which I have represented on my t-shirt, and co-writer and co-producer of Star Wars Rivals, the fan film. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Steve Blank's book, 4 Steps to the Epiphany, a startup guide for entrepreneurs, and how writers can use the thinking in this book to find an audience. Let's get into it. All right, the truth is, you need to find your audience and then build something that they love. In the startup world, it's called customer development, and as a writer, I call it audience development. Let's talk more about it as I give you an overview of Steve Blank's 4 Steps to the Epiphany and how thinking like a tech startup founder can transform your writing. So what is it that makes 4 Steps to the Epiphany so revolutionary? In the courses I'm producing for writers who want to write and produce their own stories, I'll cover the most important aspects of what's in this book and how it applies to writers. I still highly recommend you pick up a copy, but my program breaks down the essentials. Fair warning, it looks like a boring textbook and it's written for entrepreneurs, so it has a ton of business jargon in it. But if you're a writer and a producer, you're running a small business. You're the owner and your stories are the products. And if you want to run your business like a professional, definitely pick up a copy of this book or sign up for my program. So if 4 Steps to the Epiphany isn't really for writers, what wisdom is embedded in it that writers and producers need? Here's the first thing that beginner and intermediate writers get wrong about writing and producing a story. They believe they're writing for the mass market. But unless you're a celebrity, that's technically not accurate. As Steve Blank says in this book, you're making a product or a story to meet the needs of a few, not the needs of the many. Writers need an avid, engaged audience. When you're looking to find that audience, you're not looking for mass market appeal, you're looking for a niche. Or niche. I'm gonna say niche, but whatever. Insert whichever one you prefer. So, wait a minute. Don't we want millions of book sales? Why would we limit our audience like this? Because niche markets often have unmet needs or wants. The mass market has lots of options and may not be willing to take a risk on a writer or a story who they don't recognize. Niche markets don't have as many options. They crave specific kinds of stories and genres, but there aren't as many options available to them. You can step in to meet that need. Even if your book or short film or whatever you're producing could find mass appeal, you still need to think about that core, avid audience who needs something only you can provide them. If they love it and they think others will love it, then you may reach a bigger audience through word of mouth. In the startup entrepreneurship world, Steve Blank calls this process customer development. I've tweaked Steve's process, applying it specifically to writers who want to produce their own stories. And I call it audience development. The first step to audience development is defining your audience. If you're watching this in the context of my program, first of all, thank you for doing that. Thanks for investing in my program. Then this is what you're about to start doing. This is the next assignment you're going to do. If not, it's something that you need to do and you need to figure out how to do it. And the very first thing you need to do is define who your audience is. And here's the trick. Start with you. What are the traits, characteristics, interests, and perspectives that differentiate you as a writer? How do those work their way into your stories? What makes you, you? Whatever differentiates you will probably be something that other people are also interested in, probably a niche market. You're probably not alone in your needs, wants, desires, and interests. There are others out there who want to engage in your stories because they love your perspective and can't get it anywhere else. This process isn't easy, but it's not impossible. It just takes work. One of the things I love about 4 Steps to the Epiphany is that it's all about finding your audience. But because that sounds far easier than it actually is in practice, Steve Blank provides startup founders with a lot of tools to help make it happen. That's why I'm applying this type of thinking to writing and producing stories. I want to provide you with a practical approach to finding your audience. So if you're a beginner or intermediate writer looking to write and publish your own fiction, then you're a business person. 4 Steps to the Epiphany gives you a step-by-step guide to ensuring you build your business well. It's one of my favorite books of all time. In my program, I teach you this process as it applies to writing fiction, but it certainly doesn't hurt to learn from Steve Blank directly. I highly recommend you pick up a copy. It's not required reading for my program, but it's highly recommended. I'll be talking some more about audience development both on YouTube and in my writing program. I hope you'll follow along, and more importantly, I hope it revolutionizes your ability to write and produce stories that your audience will love. If you want to write and produce your own fiction, especially science fiction and fantasy, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to jumpstart that process and take it seriously, check out my writing program for beginner and intermediate writers. The link is in the description down below. If you like this video, please hit that like button for me. Keep writing, keep grinding, and I'll see you on the next video.